All right.
Yeah, again, this is one of these things that, you know, got these giant antique warehouse things, and you know, next left, exit 46, you know, and then we get off and you walk around and you spend like an hour and a half, 3 hours walking around to get some exercise.
With a jug in your pocket.
Well, we know what it looks like. I don't have to, I don't even need
Well,
a
the thing is, if you can't show that to the dealers, they're the ones who need to know what it looks like.
Oh, well, we had a picture. I had a picture on the phone.
Oh.
Then another guy, but again, I've just not had time to mess with this, you know, as of late, you know. It's one of these things where, all right, you know, but you see, here's the thing. I'm looking in the wrong spot.
Yeah, I would not associate 1890s or even early 20th century cuisine with a lot of oil and vinegar, especially not from Ohio.
I'm looking in the iron pile.
You will find that, you know, in Italian restaurants, in Italian neighborhoods, in the middle of New York City. You know, you might even find it in Tilly Foster because we had a large Italian contingent living there. But then the problem is they can't get olive oil that easily at that time. And, you know, vinegar is just not a common thing. And salads in general weren't common. You know, they just weren't unless you had your own garden.
Again, you know, what the hell do I know about that thing?
Yeah.
You're more of an expert on that. I didn't know. I never noticed the spout. And now the more I think about it, yeah. I think that's pronounced what? Eau de toilette? You know, is that how
yeah, that could very well be that for something like that.
Again, you know, I don't want to sit there and say, what the hell does she know? What the fuck do I know?
Yeah.
You know, but then look
It just goes her mom used it for oil and vinegar. That's what
that
it
may
was.
be, because she says, well, I remember this. She said growing up when she was little, up until she was 18, 19 years old, she said she remembers the pear in her kitchen, either on the table or on. So then when the time came, she either gave them to her or whatever, or she just, you know, when the time came, she got them.
Yeah.
And then now she's got them. Then they went to Samoa. When then you know, her recollection is when they came back, a couple, 3 boxes got lost, and then we only got the one top and the one thing. And she said she was pissed about that for years. So that I believe that I'm sure is true. So there probably was a pair. What they were. Because she asked her mother, and she told me, she said that the mother had them for at least, you know, 30 years before that, 30, 40 years before that. So she's got the grandmother's rocking chair.
In fact, I'm not even sure the oil and vinegar is an Italian thing for salad, because they're more into the balsamic vinegars and stuff like that. You know, mixes of each, not straight of each. So that might actually be more of an American thing later on, like in the post-World War II era, possibly, you know. Well, when restaurants and diners became much more common and fare became more segregated. Okay, this is an Italian restaurant. Okay, that's a Chinese restaurant. This is McDonald's, you know.
Yeah. Apparently, she never knew what any kind of food was until she went to the West Coast, and she never heard of Mexican food or knew what it was.
Well, it wasn't popular. No one had a Mexican food right here.
No, she grew up in Cleveland.
There either.
Yeah, that's what I said.
How many Mexicans lived in Cleveland in the 1940s? You know, not many.
You're right. And she didn't know what hardly any of these foods were. And I'm thinking, well, we're brought up on, you know, Polish food, German food. We had it all, you know.
Yeah.
Nothing we didn't try, you know.
Oh, yeah.
We had a different teacher every year at that one school I went to. So we had Ethiopian cuisine and then French food. You know what the hell we were eating? Which we had
fried grasshoppers.
It wasn't too bad. I remember eating it. It wasn't that bad. A little spicy, but it was good. And I remember the guy's name too.
The guy that cooked?
No, his name was Dawid Zalecki. That's it. So of course he said, just call me David. So, but that was his name, was like D-A and then Dawid Zalecki.
David? David, was that it?
Not David.
Oh.
Not David. David.
Well, I know a lot of Ethiopia. There was a major Jewish colony in Ethiopia. Oh, there was. He ended up in Israel after 1948. And David is a very common Israeli name. It is Hebrew for David.
Oh, okay. So it was David or Weed. David. Yeah, so that was it. David Zalecki.
Often used as a last name, too, so it could be the one.
Then you remember him until this was like 81, 82, you know. And I remember him telling me a story. He said, well, yeah, this was like, picture this being like 1982. And he said, oh, I went and tried to call my dad last week, collect. And I said, yeah, it's me, David. And he almost didn't want to, he said, whoa. He said, David, you know, because he was so used to, that was one of the teachers. So then we took a trip down to D.C. Oh, we saw the Vietnam Wall just being put up. I have pictures in my photo album. It's all dirt. They had just put up the last wall. And we got pictures of the wood shoring of the bracing there on the very last wall there. And this, I can tell you the date too. November of 1981. November of 81? Yep, November of 81. And I got pictures. We took like what little pictures I took back then. The guy only knows it's me now. Click every 10 feet.
Yeah.
But no, we got pictures of the wood shoring on the end. There's all dirt. There's no, you know. So we were down there for a couple of 3-4 days, and that's how we had Ethiopian food one night.
And when I was down there, they hadn't even made the wall yet.
Oh, so you went down before 1980?
No, we went down in the spring of 81. And I know they didn't have the wall up yet at that time.
How long? So when we went, like I said, it was all dirt. They were just putting the. All I remember somebody saying, "How come there's not a Korean War one yet?" That's all I remember somebody saying. I said the Vietnam vets got theirs before the. And now, if memory serves, what, mid-90s, 93, 94, like that, 95 or something. Who knows? It could be a perfume bottle. Who knows what that thing was?
It's pretty big for a perfume bottle. Perfume generally back then was very expensive. Came in small bottles, not smaller than that, a lot smaller than that.
And it wouldn't be
just like today. Toilet water came in larger bottles like that, and other basic scents, lavender, this and that, you know. Or like I said, some kind of expensive liqueur or something.
Re-ask her again. Sometimes you get different stories too. You know. You can't expect her memory to be, you know. Had a lady in the car about a month ago, and she's 91, 92, something like that. And I said, "Boy, I would have loved to have seen some of the cars you drove." And she's like, well, first car I ever drove was on my dad's farm. And it's right off like it was yesterday. And she goes, well, I was 9 years old. My dad came up to me and said, you want to drive the car? And she goes, I'd love to. Just like she said, just like I remember that. I'm like, tell me about that, you know. And
surprised you could even reach the pedals.
You know?
Back then, more likely than not, it was some form of Model T.
She said she couldn't remember the car. She said it was black.
Model T.
You know, yeah, which kind of, I said it was probably a Model T Ford. I said
every farmer in America had a Model T Ford.
Yeah, so I said it was probably a Model T Ford. And you'll never guess what the dead giveaway was.
What?
She said there was like a lever.
Every car had that.
You know, and she said
that's your spark and your speed and the throttle, and every car at that time had that. The Model T, however, was the only one that would have the 3 pedals. And none of them being the gas pedal.
Yeah, none of them with a gas, right. I asked her, I said, do you remember how many pedals were on the floor? And she said, no. Yeah. So I said, when was this? And she said 1925.
So did she have to keep the pedal down to make it go? Push the pedal down and hold it for the car to go. let the car up, and let the pedal up, it goes even faster.
When you go to drive that, do you have to concentrate and think about what you're doing?
Yes, you do. Because it does not drive like a modern car.
Clutch doesn't even if you drive stick and never drove an automatic, you still...
Yeah, oh yeah. It's a whole different thing.
3 pedals on the floor, not a one of them's the gas pedal.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh my God.
Once upon a time, the Model T was a very, very common thing. Today, of course, you know, it's considered extremely exotic, and you've never, but 15 million of them, everybody had one back then.
Yeah, she said the father had it for several years, so which leads me to believe it was probably a T, you know?
As a guy, I do some business with him, Victrolas and shit. He mostly, what he likes to do, he buys motors on eBay, cleans them all up, repacks them with grease, and sells them. Doesn't always know what they are, what they're for. Spring motors. So every now and then I'll get a question. And he likes, he's building his own little collection of Victrolas also. Sends me a picture of a machine, a link to an auction actually. Asks me if I have any idea what this one is. I've probably never seen it before. It's something exotic, unusual. And I said, do I know it? I own 6 of them. Literally, I do. I have 2 good ones and 4 more that I'm actually working on, plus 2 parts machines. Yeah, it's a Victor Victrola 35. I know exactly what that is. Tell them all about it. Parabolic reflector horn, polished aluminum. It's got the number 2 reproducer. It's got the 1-spring motor, pancake style flat. You know, first year to use that. Fabricoid cover. You know, the 2 different styles of corner protectors. He said, "Holy shit, I asked the right guy." I said, "You did." I said, "That's one machine I know well. And it's a good thing you told me you wanted it because I was considering putting a bid on it." It was only a $10 bid. I imagine it'll sell for $75, $80, but you know, it needs a few things. I told him, I told him where you can get the parts for it. You know, if I don't have them myself to sell them, and I told them how we could fix the little rips in the cover and all of that shit. I said, it's not rocket science, very easy actually. Glue and shoe polish, and you're done. I found a couple of really nice machines lately. That's the way it goes. Sometimes feast of famine. 2 months might go by, you don't see a fucking thing worth buying. Maybe a parts machine, that's it. And parts machines are good because I take the motors out, scrap the rest, sell the motors to my contact in Turkey. And he uses them over there for all kinds of shit. And he builds his own phonographs and stuff. And he'll use the old parts, and there you go. Does a really nice job, too. But lately I found a couple of fairly rare machines, and I sneaked them out, you might say. Because people sometimes list things on eBay without knowing what they are, really. You know, they don't describe them properly, don't put the right keywords in there, and that allows sneaky guys like me to sneak in there who know right away what it is and pounce. Yes, that's a Victor Victrola 1-7 1926. Extremely rare today because many of them were scrapped because it was the last of the acoustic or the non-orthophonic machines. And I saw it. It was good shape. A few little things here and there that I could fix. Is
that what you would find in the trenches of World War I?
Hell no. You might find a Decca. America really was not into the portable phonograph till after the First World War. Before the First World War, the only portable phonographs you find in the trenches were British. Mostly Decca. Almost exclusive. There were a few others, but it was pretty exclusive to Decca. No, but the craze for portable phonographs didn't take off in America until about the summer of 1921. When all of a sudden, everybody suddenly had a car, Model T, wanted to go out in the countryside and wanted to take their music with them. How are you going to hold your big, heavy, gigantic Victrola for the living room? No. Yeah, you hold your big, heavy, gigantic portable phonograph. If you were lucky enough to be able to buy one, because they were $50 from Victor in the summer of 21.
And the manifold cooker to go with it, maybe?
Oh, yeah. Well, no, you put your... No, not on a Ford. You had your Ford charcoal briquettes and Ford cooker for them.
Ah.
Right from the Ford company. Bought it at the dealer. And that's what you cooked your food on. I mean, later on it did make... Uh-oh. Oh, shit. We're fucked. The car's pulling in. Something's broke. What's broke, Scott?
Nothing.
Yeah, something's broke. What's broke? You got a bulb out? Why get the lights off? Oh, shit. You know, if you leave these windows down, you may get a skunk in this guy. Skunky poo. PU, skunky poo. The window doesn't work. The engine's making funny noises with it. Oh, I got tape with me. Oh. He pulled the car in, Mike. He doesn't want to tell me what's wrong.
Good. Can't be good.
Nope.
There's so many children that have patient performance and stuff out and stuff, and they need so much attention.
Hey, buddy. Oh, my poor little pal. Not feeling well. He's moving pretty good. What's your matter, Panther? Huh, buddy? Bad stuff gonna happen?
Their happiness, their ability to speak, the way they look. You can just do a simple procedure. It only takes hours to do something that will change their lives forever.
Who we got over there? Who we got over there, huh? Who we got? Who we got there? Who's trying to get away, huh? Who's trying to get away? Who's trying to get away? I can't see your face. Oh. How you doing there, huh? I got you. I got you, ain't you? Yeah. I got you. Haha. You've been gotching. You've been gotching. Look at the eyes. Oh, look at that. You've been gotching. Oh, not for long. See if we got anybody hiding in the drawer.
Domino, did he corner you?
That wasn't Domino. No. Well, he must have jumped out of the drawer. I'm searching now.
Ciao, bud.
The hardest part is Operation Smile Counter the operator.
Oh.
Complex restraint. Most of them